presentation seeks to help the student understand the requirements of assignment work and supports such students in presenting this task in a professional way. What is an assignment? An assignment is a specific task. An assignment is given to the student by which he or she would require some sort of research work or material. The student is expected to look for information and compile this in an appropriate way. Why is an assignment given? Besides the technical knowledge that a student acquires during a program, it is important and holistic that a student acquires a number of skills. Through an assignment, the candidate should acquire certain additional skills, primarily researching skills, interviewing skills. Also, the student is motivated in being creative and in achieving results. How does a student choose a topic? When presenting an assignment, it is important that this is authentic work. Moreover, it is also vital that the work is original. It is easier to write about a topic which you are interested in or familiar with. Also, one must ensure that there is enough material or enough sources from where the material should be gathered to present such an assignment. Of utmost importance is the fact that an assignment must be contributory. It must be a project which seeks to add value to an existing process, for example, to the industry as a whole. Assignment work should seek to produce something of value. Therefore, the objectives of the project must be any of the following. It should either solve a question, address a problem, analyze a situation, justify a hypothesis, or a researched area with a view of producing an end result. Students are to avoid cut and paste, unless, of course, this is a quote or a reference, in which case the student must note this as a footnote. Also, plagiarism is not accepted, as much as copying notes and text from books or breaching copyright or confidentiality, and also needless repetition. Students are to make sure that they present material which has not already been researched or written upon. Students are expected to reference their work. They can add quotes, provided that these are also referenced. Students are expected to use supporting material like graphs, charts, diagrams, tables, and, if relevant, case law. Students are to present assignments in a neat format and use the formatting that has been set by the training center. Particularly, the format of an assignment must have a title, must have the objectives with a brief introduction. The assignment must also have a section where the researched material is presented. An assignment must have an outcome or outcomes, and at its climax must have a conclusion and recommendations made by the author as the end result of this project. Any referencing or appendices are to be endorsed at the very end of the presented assignment. Those who are unfamiliar with referencing may look at the Harvard referencing style as a guideline. These are the structural requirements of the assignment. Some tips for a high standard assignment. We recommend that students outline the purpose, method of research, the scope, the parameters, and the limitations of the write-up in the introduction part of the assignment. Any technical terms used or abbreviations should be clearly defined. The body of the assignment should contain what has been found on the topic with appropriate references. Any calculations or supporting material that are indirectly connected to the assignment should be inserted as an appendix. Only that supporting material that is directly related to the assignment will form part of the main text. So any graphs, tables, diagrams that are directly part of the project will be found with the main write-up. The conclusion or recommendations at the end of the project should seek to answer or solve the matters that have been raised as objectives. Your assignment will bear the following weighting of marks. The title and objectives carry 10% of the total mark. The researched material will contain 20%. Outcomes carry 40%. The conclusion is weighted at 10%. References and appendices are 10% of the total mark. And the presentation and the layout attracts another 10%.